Okay, so just want to go and do a review of this video posted 8 hours ago by Third Phase of the Moon with Kyle from UFO Proof. You guys can hear this?
Welcome back to Third Phase of Moon. Blake Cousins here. We've got a special for you tonight, so buckle up, everybody. Is S-4 real? Does it exist like Bob Lazar stated in the past? Well, we have an exclusive from Kyle from UFO Proof who discovered S-4, and it does truly exist. According to Google Maps, Kyle from UFO Proof shared this information with us earlier, and we're going to share it with the world right now. Take a look at this special report by Kyle from UFO Proof and his discovery of S-4.
You see, we are at Area 51. This is the Area 51 base. This is off the Groom Lake bed. There you can see the base right there. And if you follow it around, that is the Papoose mountain range right there. And there is the Papoose lake bed. You can see it labeled the Papoose Lake. That's the dry lake bed. So everyone was always looking on this side of it, right over here. This is where everyone looks. One guy made a video showing some lines on the mountain that he believed were the doors, even though it was just him putting some lines on there. It wasn't the doors or anything. So I was like, that's where everyone always looks for, because that's the way they assume it's going to be. But it's actually not. If you look at one of the drawings, it's actually by some rocky mountains of, some kind of granite or something like that. That's where the hangar doors were built. So I looked on the opposite side towards these rocky mountains that are over here, and right up here, I found it. And look at this. Google actually has it labeled S-4 Research Facility. S-4 High Ridge Research Facility. That is the government research facility. That is the mountain in the backdrop, just like the artist rendering. This is the S-4 base where Bob Lazar worked at, and it is labeled right there by Google. I don't know how this has been passed up for so long, but I mean, I just, on a hunch, I decided to go on the opposite side and look, and sure enough, just like Bob Lazar said.
It looks nothing.
Just like Bob Lazar said. So let's actually listen to what Bob Lazar said, right?
Yeah, that was about the smallest time. After that, I got to see it actually lift off the ground and operate.
But you also, in between that, you saw more than one.
Yeah. The hangars are all connected together, and there are large bay doors between each one. And there were 9 total that I saw, each one being different. Like they had the assortment pack.
Security at S-4 was oppressive, Lazar says, and his superiors used fear and intimidation almost as a brainwashing tool.
It did everything but physically hurt me.
Put a gun to your head?
Yeah.
And said what? Actually put a gun to your head?
Well, they did that even in the original security briefings. They had guards there with M16s, and guys slamming their finger into my chest, screaming in my ear. Some people pointing weapons at me. Like I said, it's not a good place to work.
That fear factor would surface later. Lazar agreed to undergo a polygraph.
So he describes a facility with 9 hangar doors. So you can actually find this. Okay, so Area 51.
Into the mountain. Remember, it's
you guys know Las Vegas is right here in Nevada. You go up north. This is Groom Lake, where Area 51 is, and then if you go down here to the Papoose Mountain Range, there's Papoose Lake, and this is the actual location where he drew it on the map originally and placed it on. He said that this was a much larger piece of a mountain range. In reality, it's a little tiny molehill. We have some photographs of that. In fact,
Gabe, what's his name? Gabe. Oh,
I gotta find. Gabe Zeifman has.
Gabe Zeifman, yeah. He flew right over Papoose Lake twice. 2 times. Remember, it was totally underwater the first time on Thanksgiving of 2019.
I'm trying to find the files that I have. There it is, Lazar.
You have 2 different times. He flew over 2019 Thanksgiving, and then the following year, I think it was 2021. Following year, 2020, he flew over on Christmas.
But let's
got
go.
away
Let's
last year.
focus on this facility that he claims is the S4 that he found. So somebody put this on the map. You know, it doesn't have to be a real thing. They can just, I can literally click right here, and I can say add a missing place, right?
Yeah, and that was added.
And I can go here and I can write
anything you want.
for alien vehicle research laboratory, right?
Sure.
And we're going to add a category, and it's going to be government, right? Government college. We'll call it a government college. And
he probably put it there.
And then we can just say save it, all right? And hey, guess what? I'm a level 10 guide on Google Maps because I do so much stuff on Google Maps. So this is going to appear probably right away because everything where I say it is there. I change, stuff changes. I'll report it, and I'll be the first person to, I keep Google Maps updated with my own local neighborhood with a lot of pictures and other stuff. So, but it's interesting because you look at this thing and there's this, it's like a berm here, and then it's like flattened land where there's something here with something flat, and then off to the side you can kind of see some attachments to the buildings that or whatever these structures are. I'll say, not buildings. I'll just call them structures. This looks like maybe a building. It'd be good to get some.
Yeah, they could be buildings.
Satellites.
I said wildlife guzzlers. They look like wildlife guzzler aprons to me. If you can measure them.
I'm
here doing something really cool in Nevada right now. Nevada Division of Wildlife has all these guzzlers in these really arid places, and we're out here kind of scoping it out. And tomorrow morning, a whole group of volunteers is going to come and repair 2 of the really critical guzzlers to this part of the state. I think they said there's 1,725 guzzlers that the state of Nevada has put in, not just here, but throughout the state for the purposes of water.
On this guzzler, we have 2 aprons. The first one's a natural apron. We call it a slick rock. So when we get big thunder showers and rain events, water will naturally collect in the canyon up above us and then trickle down through this kind of natural rock, bedrock apron. We collect it here, gets filtered out for sediment, and then piped down to the storage tanks. This pipe is coming down from a metal apron, which helps augment water collection.
That is what is there looking at over there.
Yeah, what was that?
Precip, it'll hit the metal apron and gets piped down here. Meets up with the plumbing coming out of the slick rock.
All right, it's coming up again.
Both pipes head around the base of the hill there towards the storage tanks and the drinker.
Wait till the larger one shows
up. This is the metal apron for this guzzler. And once we get a big rain event,
it's called an apron.
They put several of them side to side.
It looks like corrugated metal roofing. It looks like the roof of a facility.
They're on an angle, and when the water hits it, it's just like a spouting setup. On that angle, it takes the water down and stores it into these collectors. Sometime the collectors will go into those giant storage tanks that I showed you that people thought were UFOs on the side of the hill. Next to they have them on the
yeah, it looks like it's going down here
as well. They have them on Dogbone Dry Lake as well. This was all to revive the bighorn sheep population.
This looks like a tank right here, and this looks like it collects from here and just pipes down to the other one because there's 2 pipes. Yeah, I think these look like water guzzlers, like you said.
No, they take it very seriously. The bighorn sheep population has to do with BLM. They've got them so many feet apart.
Could we call BLM and get information on this facility?
That guy that does the video, you can talk to him. He has a Facebook
He probably
site.
has pictures of these.
Remember, I contacted him about the other ones, and they've done all. These guys have done all of the Nevada test site, and they've done them over in.
Is it possible that this guy is, maybe like they have all these secret facilities around? I mean, the thing is, though,
they're not going to see anything. They come in there, they're contractors, and do their thing and get out, just like a regular contractor would come in and build a building per se. Do you know what I mean? There's their company, Lone Star. Is it? Oh no, that's their site.
Outdoor News. No,
These things get pretty large. I mean, some of them are like 70 feet by 50 feet. Some of them are 100 feet by 60 feet. These things can get pretty big. See the angle they were on? They tilt them, and
There's different ways of doing it, but these things, these sheep population, they know where they go. Remember the trackers I showed you that they had on a while back? Look, there's another one. It's just like
so they have an access road out there to build this thing.
Sure.
Because look at the access road that goes to the facility. If you follow this access road, it goes up to here to this junction here, which is north. So this is the Nevada test site where they blasted off all the nuclear tests.
I was going to say they're on Nevada test site. They're on the nuclear test sites property. They are not on Air Force property at this point.
Yeah, if you look on the map,
not Air Force property. Air Force property. There should be there's not a line for some reason, but there's a line. That's Nevada nuclear test site property, not Air Force. They're separated.
Yeah, right along that road is the separation line.
Yeah, there's a line, and there's yeah. I've seen the pictures of seen the signs already, but again, there definitely is a defined separation. I'm just not impressed by the video. I can't believe those guys put that up and are saying that's. First of all, one thing I want to bring up: Bob Lazar would have had to have lied, about where he said S-4 was. He's always maintained it's off the side of that hill.
Yeah, Papoose Lake.
Now, so Bob Lazar all of a sudden has lied and has put it.
And he also said that when they did the test flight, they rolled it out onto the dry lake bed right out of the hangar.
Right. The hangars were camouflaged into the side of the mountain. Nothing is even close to fitting, nothing. And that's newer construction. That's not something it's been there since the 70s or whatever. That you can tell I've been over Google Earth so many times. I never seen that till a few years back, When does that guy's video originally put up?
I sent Kyle an invite so he could come on and, defend himself on this one, but
yeah.
Not sure what's going on. We got 95 people watching. Trolls everywhere in the chat.
Are there trolls in the chat?
Yeah, there's it's probably Jeremy Corbell.
Well, I mean, listen, the Jeremy Corbell crew would support this information because Bob. I'm not saying Bob Lazar is a liar. What I'm saying is, this guy's got this completely wrong. This is not even close to what Lazar said. Not even close. You've got to look at what Bob Lazar's posted, the drawings he's done, everything else. This actually supports Lazar more than anything. That's all I have to say. I mean, it's not even close to what Lazar described as S-4.
He says he's telling it in order to protect himself. Proved to be a difficult 1980, where Lazar says he was.
See, nothing comes up with my name in it.
He smiles, but out of futility, knowing the whole thing must sound ridiculous. According to Lazar, his employer was the United States Navy. He says he and other government employees would gather near EG&G, fly to Groom Lake, then a very few people would get into a bus with blacked out or no windows and drive to S-4.
When you get off the bus, what do you see?
Very interesting building. It's got a slope of probably about 30 degrees, which are hangar doors. And it has textured paint on it, but it looks like sand. It's made to look like the side of the mountain that it's in, whether it's to disguise it from satellite photographs or what.
He says he was never told exactly what he'd be working on, but figured it had something to do with advanced propulsion. On his first day, he was told to read a series of briefings and immediately realized how advanced the propulsion was.
The power source is an antimatter reactor. They run gravity amplifiers. There's actually two parts to the drive mechanism. It's a bizarre technology. There's no physical hookup between any of the systems in there. They use gravity as a wave, using wave guides, almost like microwaves.
It took a while, Lazar says, before he actually saw one of the flying discs. However, there were hints everywhere.
Right. They had a poster, and it looked like a commercial poster almost, like it was lithographed, and you could buy it at a Kmart or something. But they were all over the place, and it had the disc that I coined the term the sport model. Was lifted off the ground about 3 feet at area S4 on the dry lake there, and the caption on the bottom said "They're here." And those are just all over the place. The disc that I coined the term the sport model was lifted off the ground about 3 feet at area S4 on the dry lake there. And
on the dry lake there, right? So they didn't roll this out onto the dry lake from here, man.
Where is that dry? It'd be an awful long roll, wouldn't it?
This is where he said it was. All right. And I don't know why this guy's got all his facts wrong and just made a fool of
It'd be
himself.
a pretty dangerous area too. I mean, do you think that's all?
One of the problems is that everyone was thinking that the base was on the mountains that were right next to the dry lake bed, like right outside of it was the dry lake because of some of his descriptions. But that is in fact wrong. It wasn't directly on it. See, that's the problem. That's why everyone thinks it was right on the lake bed. It wasn't. You know, the lake bed is obviously like a mile or two away from it, but it was deep up here in the mountains.
Now he's trying to move everything, you know, and twist the testimony around, and come on, man, do better research.
Again, I'm not after Lazar on this at all. I'm just saying that this is ridiculous. This guy just made this up.
Yeah, totally.
There's zero proof whatsoever. And I sent some stuff to Rich Giordano, Goof on. He's not around. At least he didn't see my messages I sent him on Facebook. Rich, if you're around, come on, dude. That'd be cool. So, Rich will laugh at this. Rich don't believe Lazar at all, so he wouldn't believe this. But at least he says he doesn't. So why would he believe this?
So I know they do a lot of interesting. You know, they got a lot of facilities here and a lot
at
of
Homey
areas.
Airport.
Yeah, this is Homey Airport.
Homey Airport is what they renamed it. I'll never forget that when. What's the guy's name you had on there? What's the guy's name, Jeremy? That, gosh, I can't remember his name. The guy you interviewed that worked there for
T.D. Barnes?
Yeah, T.D. Barnes called it Homey Airport that one night. I laughed. I thought he was kidding. Nope, it's called Homey Airport.
Yeah, it is. It's called Homey Airport on Google Maps.
Homey, Homey Airport.
I imagine they have all kinds of nicknames for it to obscure like the flights that go there.
Well, imagine you pull up, you're in an airplane, you've never been to Nevada. What the hell's Homey Airport? You fly over and all of a sudden these F-16s and F-22s start flying by you at Mach 1.
Right. They have so much land out here and so much room to hide stuff. Why would they need to hide it like something so far up here in the mountains?
They were supposedly taking...
And look, that's even closer to the radioactive wasteland.
That's why I said it can't be cleaned up. That's a real dangerous place to be in those mountains. I mean, but if you're going to be there every day.
Yeah.
Somehow these sheep just live right through this.
But the thing is, right, they could literally hide a facility almost anywhere. I was pointing out that Boeing had this factory. This was the aerial view of the Boeing factory during World War II. And they
rubber trees up and stuff, right?
They covered it over with camouflage nets that made it look like and then put like they put fake houses and fake buildings and fake cars.
Isn't that incredible? I saw that before. Do you have the pictures of that? The what they did to it? It's so amazing.
They made it look like a whole rural landscape from aerial
hills and everything, right?
Yeah.
And it was with nets it was just incredible. I've seen it before, and gosh, to make that must have took forever, you know, but they did it. Yeah. Oh, I bet they're still using that kind of technology today, but it's probably so much better now.
Oh, yeah. I can't find the pictures of it.
I was gonna say, show the. Just type in the World War II camouflage and the name of the plant you got there.
I had some photos. Oh, there it is. This is what it looked like.
Yeah. Isn't that amazing?
They built it to look like a big farm.
And they had people out there trimming the trees. Look at that.
Yeah.
Incredible.
This was all on the roof of the Boeing facility. Amazing. Yeah, look at here's another picture of it. Oh, these are great.
I was gonna say there's much better pictures than that one you had up. Go to another one. It's just
Yeah, look at the fake netting that they made these trees with, and bushes and everything, and
They would paint the roofs and
wow.
yeah, good for some more pictures. They have like big landscape pictures you can really see there. It's
I want to
absolutely
save
phenomenal.
all these.
Those right there are not even close to the ones I've seen before. There's ones that are far better than those. Look at that. Camouflage disguising the building. Go back up there. There you go.
Look at that. The whole side of the building was camouflaged too.
Yeah. Isn't that awesome? I mean, look at that.
Yeah, and then they had the whole village built on top of the plant.
That's absolutely amazing. Look at the size of that hangar, man. That's TR3B worthy, isn't it? Look at that.
Donald Smead likes it.
Hey, Donald Smead, what's up,
I'm gonna
man?
save all these in a special folder.
That is amazing. That's your typical desert camo there also. See the tans in it?
I don't know, because it's
Not
black
dark.
and white. I think it's
Well, yeah, but you can see the light colors. You don't see light colors in green, in the green
They
dark.
probably matched it to the whole landscape.
That's what I'm saying. And look, the ground looks wet. I wonder if that's actually wet or if they dump some kind of lacquer all over the place to make it shine like it just rained or something there. I mean, who knows?
Thank you, Donald Smead, man. It's a nice.
Although it looks
job.
like it just rained.
Yeah, so they could literally hide a facility like almost anywhere. But let's talk about a little bit more about where the actual scientific research takes place and some of the companies that do it.
I don't know. Like who?
Well, I'll go into some of the stuff. I'm not going to go into any, I'm just going to go into the mainly where the scientists are and, what a PhD from Caltech who worked for Lockheed Martin on classified programs and what that type of person looks like, actually. So this is a guy, his name is Bernard Haish, and he's a PhD. And you can go to publications, and you'll find, what's called a curriculum vitae and a list of the papers that they've published and the research that they've done. Bob Lazar claimed to have a master's degree and wrote his master's thesis on magnetohydrodynamics. But there's no evidence of his papers anywhere. If he had been a actual grad student and published thesis paperwork, we'd find that in the record, but we
It's
have
something
this
to look for over and over again, and it's never been found.
Yeah, so John Andrews of Testers Corporation, he's the guy that built the Lazar model, the Testers model, and he investigated a lot of did a lot of research into Bob Lazar.
And Mike Schratt has a lot of that info.
Yeah, this was actually from Michael Schratt. He had showed this to us, the original letter from John Andrews' collection.
A lot of correspondence back and forth between John Andrews, Lear, all them people, and the schools. He did everything he could.
He basically talked to all the experts in the world in magnetohydrodynamics, and none of them had ever heard of Lazar, including the people at MIT that would have given him his master's degree. Yes, thank you, Chris Bounds. Chris, how's it going, man? I hope you're doing all right, and that you're man. We gotta hang out again soon, dude. That was cool. I met Chris out in when I went to Albuquerque. Chris is a good dude. Thank you, Chris. That means a lot, man.
By the way, Jeremy sounds a lot better, doesn't he, everybody? Compared to that first video he did the other night. Much better. You feeling better? Or you still?
I'm feeling a lot better, man. I'm feeling.
You're
I'm
achy,
feeling,
right? I hear that the achiness is terrible.
You know, I've been. I had that really bad like before Christmas. You know, I didn't get like the sickness. It was weird because like it was like the day of like it was Christmas Eve, and I started feeling like that. I was even before that. Like I had something that was like I don't know if I caught like one of the other waves of it that had that worse.
Yeah,
and then I got hit with something else because like
I'll be back in a minute.
this one took away my sense of smell, and it was like immediately right after Christmas when I saw, you know, I saw family members, and I'm sure it passed around to a lot of people at Christmas. But yeah, I don't know. It's just I did feel that aches and pains in the butt and like the muscles and everything, but I haven't felt that in a couple of days, you know. I haven't really been exercising. I slept a lot yesterday. Yeah, comes and goes. Yeah, I should be all right, man. I'm recovering, but yeah, there's no records at the Astro Library or Aero Library or any of these places at MIT. But yeah, Bernard Haish is a good guy to look at if you want to see what you know, and read real publications from. This is where you'll find a lot of the foundational theory that was being developed around that time, you know, within the scientific community by the high-level Caltech physicists involved in this type of research. So I think
everybody's pretty clear that Bob Lazar didn't go to these schools. You know, even George Knapp stated it. I mean, it's not.
But I want to clarify.
I don't wasting their time.
When did I don't know the exact date that he actually started his research for. You know, when he was recruited by, you know, by.
You're talking about this Hasek guy, or Hake or whatever.
So this guy was recruited by Lockheed Martin because, you know, he'd published a lot of this foundational theoretical work, and this was right around the time that, you know, Alcubierre published his first papers on, you know, warp drive, and there was a lot of physicists working on this kind of stuff. And one of the guys who actually took part in a documentary that was made on this is Todd Desiato, who's like part of our group of physicists, and he's like doing tons of great research. In fact, let's go to Warp Drive Tech. See the latest warp drive research from Todd. This is the one.
All right, sweep time is 20
Can't believe
seconds.
I'm not. Oh, this is a new channel I created.
35.5 kilohertz.
Wow.
That's a capture.
He's been doing a lot of interesting research on this Grab-a-Flyer device and trying to build one, trying to test out different theoretical models.
Can you show it? I've never seen it or heard about it.
Yeah, so this whole Russian Grab-a-Flyer thing that we've been collaborating.
Okay, who is the guy doing this? Who is this?
Alexei Chernikov or something like that.
We got our high voltage connection with a bearing. Got my magnets with the new kind, with the wraparound.
What is it?
So that thing is levitating right now?
No.
Bottom.
It's just sitting on those bolts, but he's trying to build this
parts, carbon fiber for lightweight, even though those motors weigh too much. And there you go. It's all ready to go. Just need to hook some power to it. Merry Christmas.
It's just a test of proof of concept if we can get lift at all.
Okay, can you explain what's going on? Because I'm new to this, and somebody else that's new to it, we're not going to know. So that the whole idea of that thing is to lift off the ground, obviously, right?
Yeah, so he's doing frequency sweeps to try, different frequencies.
Is he doing it by the way of lessening the weight, or is it another type of
Yeah,
is it
it's
smart
basically
technology?
it's basically like
Inertia, it's
dissipated
canceling
power.
inertia,
Gravity is dissipated power, and
and it's working.
so if you want to see his theory and stuff, I can't explain it as good as him, but
But I mean, he's actually measured that it's canceled some weight out.
he's presented at APEC, which is our conference for
Oh, okay.
people who are working on this type of stuff, and you'll be able to find him if you go. Yeah, so this is Alexei Cherkarov.
Yeah, I remember when he was on, but
Cherkarov.
I was working that day, so I was listening, and I had to take it off, take it off.
That's Alexei, and then that channel was Todd Desiato, so you can find Todd Desiato on here as well. And Todd has a lot of
You got some good people on your channel, for no doubt about
got a
that.
really great team of people working on this stuff, trying to just hunt it down. And
should be its own website, maybe. Well, it is its own website, isn't it? What did you say it's called up there? Alternative Propulsion?
Altpropulsion.com. Yeah, this is altpropulsion.com. And we're going to have actually an APEC tomorrow, if I'm not mistaken.
Oh, good.
Yeah,
who's your guest of honor?
I think it's let me get in here on
Being New Year's Day, got to have somebody on.
It says Crawford, Gamble, and Ventura. So yeah, it'll be Mike Gamble and who's it? Mike Crawford. Is it Mike Crawford or no? I gotta find out who Crawford is, because I know who Gamble is, but I don't know who Crawford is exactly. So I'm sure more information will be posted on the website shortly on the events page. There it is. So it just came up. Yeah, we're going to talk about Tesla resonant motor and this Hutchison effect stuff. And it's Charles Crawford. Yeah, Charles Crawford's an interesting guy. He's been working on the that Alexei Cherkarov device too, I believe. Here's his YouTube channel, Charlie C. I'll post that right now. People can go check him out for if they want it. Oh, there's Charlie C. He's in the. I know him. He's me. Heck yeah. So go subscribe. Ring the bell. And check out some of the work that Charlie C is working on. He's going to be joining us tomorrow. So, yeah, this whole thing with Bob Lazar, though.
Old Bob's not been around much at all. You don't really hear too many people talking about him unless they're trying to get views, I think. Sometimes that happens, but Bob himself, you don't see him at all, and I don't think you need to, really. I don't think he cares. He's probably been paid, for that video. I'm sure he had to have made something.
Yeah, huh?
He didn't make anything. Come on, people nuts. He made some money.
So one of the things I found was interesting is my research into
definitely made some money
into the element 115 source. I found this Scientific American article from May 1989. And yeah, page 66, creating super heavy elements by the two guys who would later discover element 115.
Isn't that something?
And all the stuff about island of stability and using it for spacecraft fuel and all that stuff is in this article from.
Are you serious? In '89, before Bob?
Before Bob.
Wow, that's
it was the same month and year that he came out as Dennis, but he didn't talk about element 115 until October when he actually came out with his real name and came out with further details, to George Knapp.
Yeah.
He's like, I'm just going to talk and tell everything I know because they're going to kill me, And they chased me down with the Uzi and shot at me off the highway. And wasn't there a video of Bob with an Uzi saying that he had to get it for protection? Something.
Yeah. Why would you carry an Uzi around for protection? You can't put it in your pants. You'd carry a Glock 9mm, or you'd carry a 9mm 45, or like a 30.
Waist holstered
Carry
or
some
something.
type of semi-auto. You wouldn't carry a freaking Uzi. Well, there's videotapes of Bob firing his Uzi off. It was automatic and stuff. And supposedly it was in his glove box when him and this guy came out from working out at the gym. The Uzi was out and was laying on the floor. And if you look at its size, if you measure the dimensions of an Uzi and you measure the dimensions of Bob's 84 Corvette glove box, an Uzi would never fit in there. So there was that story was bullcrap.
Yeah, it talks about milliseconds and microseconds of these radioactive half-life decay times of these super heavy elements. In the milliseconds. They were at 109. This was before 115. They're all talking about it, then describing the experimental setup with the particle accelerator and collider where they created this stuff. But it's all there. Element 115. Island of stability. Let's find that Bob Lazar Uzi video and watch that. That'll be fun. Bob Lazar Uzi. Can you find that video of him and the Uzi?
It's on. Jeremy Corbell shows it. He'll flag the shit out of you if you if you would show it. Bob may have it on his own channel. Bob has the. What's the name of his company? Is the United Nuclear. Let me look and see if it's on there. He flyers it right into the hill. I know Corbell has it. I've seen it on there. Let's see if Bob's done any new videos lately. Oh, he's done one 2 months ago. Check him out, man. Bob is a very interesting guy. I sure as hell would like to hang around him one day. It's got to be fun. Uranium prospecting for United Nuclear. See, that's what people understand. You can go out and dig uranium up out of the ground.
Yeah, there was like a uranium mine.
Yeah, and then he sells his samples online. I mean, easy way to make money, right? People don't get that. It's natural.
So, talk a little bit more about the companies and the people that do where the research really takes place, because I know there's some stuff that goes on out there, but in reality, Ohio and Wright-Patterson is where, in Dayton, Wright-Patterson is where everything was brought, allegedly. So this is the old Wright-Patterson. Then they built a newer Wright-Patterson Air Force Base up here. But this is where the old one it was, and apparently there was underground facilities under this whole thing during World War II, and they had built a whole tunnel system, which it kind of looks like if you can follow it where it would be, right out across here, and this thing right here, it looks like there's this just power lines or something there in the trees that just.
Yeah, I absolutely know nothing about this place. Nothing.
So there's a whole underground tunnel system that connects all the buildings on campus.
Showing that. What's the name of it? It's something that with the word alien or something in it, isn't it?
Yeah, this is.
Oh, by the way, Jeremy, have you heard about the disclosure stuff that's coming out that NASA hired 24 theologians or something like that to?
No, that was been debunked.
Possibility of extraterrestrials or something. What was this now?
Way.
It just happened yesterday or the day before.
I don't buy it.
Well, I read it was in the New York, not New York Times, but the New York Post or whatever.
Someone said that it's. I read somewhere that it didn't really happen like that or something. Let me see this. NASA hires theologians to help tell humans that alien life exists, per new report.
Yeah, told you. 24.
24 theologians. This was on New
Why
York
would they
Post.
hire that many? Think about that.
No way.
What the effects would be on the public if they disclose that extraterrestrials are real. That's what it's supposed to be about. Why would they do that? Unless they're writing something or they're coming up with something. You know, I found it to be very interesting. 24 theologians, 24. That's a lot.
This is like a new age Robertson panels. Like what was the not the Robertson panel, but the study that they had done. It was
Yeah, I know
Rand
what you're talking
Corporation.
about. What was the name of that paper? Gosh, I forgot more than I know. Oh man, it was a company that they had hired to see what the effects would be on the public if they did disclosure back in the 50s, wasn't it? It was a real long time ago, and they wrote that it was not recommended.
Yeah. Well,
But one thing you have to
they
remember about back then that's different. Religion was far more powerful back then than it is now. Religion is at like an all-time low. of
Brookings
ASD.
Institute. That's what it was.
Yeah, yeah, Brookings and Rand.
Yeah, Brookings Rand Corporation. Yeah.
Yeah, that back then, people, what did they do on Sundays? Your entire neighborhood would hop in their car and go to church. I used to go to church twice in a weekend. I hated it. And I went to church all week when I was in Catholic school. It's like, why do I have to go to church all the time? It's a waste. And that's what people did back then. But nowadays, I don't think if they disclosed that extraterrestrials are real, it would have the effect on the public that it would have had back then. Everything has changed again.
Yeah, it's true.
There is not many religious people around, man. There just isn't. Are you religious? No, not at all. Are you an atheist, Jeremy? Or are you? I don't even know what you are.
Yeah, I would say I don't really believe in
Right.
that. I believe that everything could just be derived from nothingness and mathematics, and I think it's more of a puzzle for us to figure out, you know. But I think religion's used as a tool to like manipulate a lot of people, and I find a lot of lacking, logic. And when I study a lot of the religions, it's all faith-based rather than evidence-based, and I'm more of a nuts and bolts evidence-based type person. So,
Oh yeah, yeah, I agree with what you're saying. I don't know.
this is called the Nutter Center.
What is it?
The
Nutter
Nutter
Center.
Center.
Really? Is that at the school you were? Where is that?
Yeah, I don't know. It's like a basketball stadium and a music stage.
Nutter Center. Is that in Ohio?
Yeah.
Wright State University. Okay, so Nutter would be a company. Don't they make candy and stuff, or am I wrong? Or that's someone's name? They named it after someone that went to that college. Nutter Center. Look it up.
Maybe
I like
it's like
Nutter Center. That's hilarious.
it's a bunch of you're a nutter for
Oh,
you.
you're a nutter. Yeah, I've been called a nutter many times because of
Yeah,
UFOs.
it's a good one.
God. Nutter Center at Wright State University.
It's funny.
Arena information.
All right, let's find out about the Nutter
That's funny,
Center.
buddy.
Okay, so it's Wright State. It's Wright
There's
State.
a lot of weird stuff going on at that school, at that place, man. Nutter Center, here it is on Wikipedia. It's got to be named after a guy. The multi-purpose Wright State. Must have a pretty big basketball team.
I mean, how did the guy get the name Nutter? He must have been
Well,
like
that's what I'm looking up.
making peanut butter.
$34.5 million to build it. Irvin J. Nutter donated $1.5 million. Wow, in 1986, that's a lot of money back then, man. About the same as about $5 million now. Yeah, guy, Irvin J. Nutter. He must have been a nutter. Check this out. And then he contributed an additional $8 million to construction efforts, which began in 1988. It's completed months later in 1990.
Irvin J.
Wow, he must. Let me tell you something. You know how much money that guy must have?
Mr. Nutter.
Think about that, Jeremy. He gave him 1.5 million one year, or in 86, and in 90 gave him
God.
8 more. Wow. Must be nice, right?
They're like, this dude's crazy.
No wonder they named it after him. He completed the project.
He was a nutter.
Some of those people are really down for their schools, man. They get educated and they become wealthy and they feel as though the school did it, and those are the ones, or they were born with it.
Yeah. Who knows, man? That's crazy.
People are born just insanely.
How do you think he made his money?
Being a nutter. I mean, his family.
Maybe they hired him to be head of like the Roswell project because, they could just call him a nutter if anything happened.
It's funny, we should cover some UFO videos or something. This is quite boring. I'm not trying to bust your balls or nothing, bud, but this is
Yeah, what else is new with Third Phase? Let's find some.
I mean, the guys from Third Phase just kind of
I
took that stupid
discovered
video and
before Google even existed.
ran with it. Why? I don't know.
So,
They're smarter than
By
that.
the time
Come on, Brent, like, you guys have
Kyle, where's
putting together
Kyle,
Google
man? I
Earth.
sent Kyle an invite to bring
I
him on
haven't
here.
seen him around in a long time. That video is old. I mean, did you look up how old that video is? It's got to be. I seen that like a year or two ago. And Kyle posted that, and I laughed. People sent it to me. I'm just like, man, this is crap. Total crap. I mean, come up with something, man.
And what is this thing? This Stargates and portal lines? Oh, jeez.
Oh, I mean, are you kidding me? We're going to sit there and dissect that thing? Look at that damn thing. Good luck. I'll take a nap before I bother with that.
Talk about a nutter. Who the heck sat down and drew this?
If whoever's out there listening, listen to me very carefully. Do not get drunk and drive around tonight. Get an Uber driver or something, because I'm telling you, you will get busted or you'll get killed or get hurt or kill somebody. That's one thing I wanted to say tonight. I used to party my ass off years ago, and I made some big mistakes driving. And just be careful. I just renewed my driver's license today, and I was thinking about that. Renewed my driver's license on freaking today. Just felt weird. You know what I mean, Jeremy? Because of the day it is, What's crazy is my picture looks virtually identical. I haven't aged one day. The guy even said that.
Who's got the Lockheed video? Wait, come on here. Paul, jump on here and post it in the private chat.
What's that?
The Lockheed video.
Who has that?
Green.
Lockheed Martin? I don't say nothing about them. You know what I mean?
Probably not. I wouldn't count on it. Yeah. You're better off if you just stick
I don't know anything. If I don't know anything about something, I don't talk about it. That's why half the stuff you brought up there, I have no clue.
Yeah. This is
I contribute nothing, But I just wanted to say about the S-4 video. That's all I had to say. That's it.
Yeah, the water guzzler thing seems like a good explanation for what those things are, man.
Yeah, I think that's what they are. They're spaced out a certain amount. If you can research, you can do all of the research and you want on the water guzzlers. They are spaced out, and they're all over the Nevada test site. And it's all about bringing the big horn sheep population back up. And man, they've done a phenomenal job. They went from like 50 of these things to thousands and thousands of them because of those water guzzlers. Think about trying to find water and food in that dry desert. Well, these creatures have really multiplied. They actually show them shooting these creatures, not killing them, with these nets, and they tackle them. And remember, Jeremy, I showed you a video a year or so ago where they shoot them with the nets, and then they put a thing around their neck, the collar, and the collar will have a solar charge on it, and these lights will flash. These LEDs flash on the side of the collars. And what's interesting was the one guy from UFO Seekers had filmed a bunch of these like running up the side of a hill. He's like, oh my God, what is that? And if you look at it, you'd think maybe it was some aliens or something running up the side of the mountain. He was at Area 51. And I almost knew right away what he was looking at because I seen those collars on those sheep's neck. Remember that, Jeremy?
Yep.
And then I showed him. It's like, wow, that was a really good catch. He was like, that was an incredible catch, man. I said, yeah. I said, those things are moving far too fast to be human beings. Because you got to remember, the military trains all over that test site, too. They train up in the mountains. It's like Afghanistan, kind of. You know, the mountains that are up in there, sort of. You know, where you got that deserty terrain. It's high and dry and nasty. You know, they special operations teams train out there doing stuff. You know, from what I've read. But yeah, man, there's a lot of stuff goes on out there. It's not just this. You know, I don't think there's any UFOs or anything out there. I think that's just all BS, man. I think it's all to keep people looking there, and whatever they're doing it somewhere else. Out over the ocean, maybe, testing some tic-tac looking thingies. What do you think?
Yeah, I think that one of the main locations was San Catalina Island. You know, I think that a lot of the
radar blips came from, right?
I think a lot of the testing has been moved out to places like this where they could easily hide, you know, large facilities underneath, you know, the landscape.
Yeah.
And they could be, and it's a perfect area to test stuff out here where nobody, there's way less people except fishermen.
Yeah.
But, and they can fly them right in shore and over, you know, the naval base that's right here, Camp Pendleton.
Mm-hmm.
This huge military installation.
Yeah.
Marine Corps station, Air Force, Navy, you know, all kinds of tactical stuff.
Mm-hmm.
There's all the hovercrafts and stuff.
There's a lot of crazy stuff goes on these bases, and you know, I think a lot of it's like at Groom Lake, from what I understand, a lot of it's experimental weapons. You know, there's a lot of weapon stuff that goes on out there now. What it is, I'd have absolutely zero. I'd be 100% clueless and be totally speculating. But as far as like aliens or anything like that being out there, man, you know, it's fantasy, man. It's when you come to that, you finally come to that conclusion, you've just burnt every single story out you've looked at. You've investigated every single one of them, and none of them adds up. There's always something. Have they tested something out there in the 80s? It might have been something amazing, probably. But the place is burned. You know, it's burned, Jeremy. There's too many people out there. I mean, it's like a tourist attraction. It's literally like Disneyland, right?
Mm-hmm.
So you're not going to see that. But a place like this, man, out in the ocean, I mean, look, they're what, 20-some? How far are they off mainland? They're pretty good far out, right? I mean, they're like 6 miles off land or off the land, right? On there, right there it is. How many miles is that? We can't see.
28.95, almost 30 miles.
How many? 30 miles. Okay, if something was flying up and down over there, you wouldn't really see it because the azimuth, well, looking at the azimuth out in the ocean is different than looking at the azimuth on land. But I think the azimuth is typically 30 miles, isn't it? 26 miles. Because the curvature of the Earth. So, yeah,
Can't see nothing out there.
To me, that's the best hiding spot there is. I have a feeling there's a lot goes on that area. In that area, there's been no more USO sightings, unidentified submerged objects, in that area than probably anywhere. There's been some incredible stories. UFO Hunters is one of the best shows ever. It was on the History Channels about UFOs. Pat Uskert was on it. Really cool guy. That was one of the best shows ever about UFOs. And they did a show about USOs, and it was all about Catalina Island. It was all about all the stuff that had happened there. And this one guy got his whole airplane was Cessna was taken over by UFOs, and they took him into the water, and something saved his life and brought him back to land. It's like the most incredible story you've ever heard in your life. and this green beam, this UFO took over his plane, and that stuff was all off Catalina Island. There's just been a lot of stuff going on there, man. And has it been aliens or is it the United States?
Well, hey, Dan, we got 5 minutes left. I want to talk about this new TR3B documentary a little bit. We're gonna get Darcy Weir on. I want to get Darcy and there's a couple other guys we're gonna get together.
The main guy is or that Darcy guy. Yeah, he's
Pursuing X, and he said he wants to get James Goodall and Alara.
Yeah, Jim Goodall's awesome. I just met him the other week. Him and Mike Schratt called me on Thanksgiving Day. We talked for almost 5 hours. Talking to Jim Goodall was incredible. He's so well knowledged. You know, I mean,
yeah.
He wrote for the Air Force. I mean, he was in the Air Force for 30, 40 years, something like that. The guy is, he knows all the SR-71 pilots. It's just, wow. I mean, talking to him was incredible. And,
yeah, we're going to try to put this together. And,
yeah, let's put something together and go over this TR3B documentary if you want. Darcy was nice enough to buy it for me. Thank you, Darcy. Because I had helped him out with some of the information. Jeremy, you were in the show.
Yeah. We're gonna break this down and we'll analyze, answer a whole bunch of questions. Why don't you show
people the video? I mean, why don't you at least pull up the ad for the video? I think there's an ad on YouTube, isn't there? And show it so they can buy it. It's $10.
Okay, here it is.
Fire rent. There it is. Click on it there. There you go. Show the preview of it.
Hey, what's up, guys? Tyler here with Secure Team. Something has been discovered.
Don't be hating on Tyler. Give the kid a break, for goodness sakes.
NASA's insignia is far from the only example of official space program symbology, the strange and mysterious vector-shaped UFO reflected in the astronaut's visor.
Yes.
I think it's amazing the way that NASA and other aeronautics industries have been able to hide this strange alien or UFO phenomenon from the general public for so many years.
Now, one question has been raised repeatedly when you talk about issues about UFO disclosure. And there's a very significant argument to justify, further ballooning of the already massive military budget. Some people will talk about this creating an alien threat where there isn't one, just to scare the public and justify all of this extra money being spent.
I did see a couple of ships phase in and phase out in the distance.
Oh, I love her story.
My phone picked this up, but I didn't see
Yeah, she's going to come on too.
That here, if you really look closely at the footage, it looks like there's more than one, although one stands out far more than the other.
That picture she took.
I thought it was significant also that there was a TR-3B craft, whether there was one or two, sitting above the field of a CE5 event at a major UFO conference.
I'm here to speak about secret government technology, reverse engineering of alien artifacts. It's the most exotic classified aerospace vehicle that's ever been built. Gravity disruption device called a magnetic field disruptor, which is the circular accelerator.
How smooth that was back in.
We have a TR-3A. It's a real. It's apparently there's blueprints on it. There's a contractor, Northrop Grumman, that developed the TR-3A.
That means we can travel across the universe.
Jim Goodall?
I believe he said it because we have recovered crashed, given, and we have found abandoned UFOs.
Yeah.
To me, the logical conclusion is that these were spacecraft from somewhere else out in space away from the shuttle. One good explanation might be that they were missiles, that we might be firing at them, and that's a scary thing too.
Yeah, so go check that out, and we're going to be sometime in the new year, in the next 2 weeks here, we're going to be doing a
it's going to be on a weekend. It's going to have to
probably a weekend. We'll figure this out, but we're going to get Darcy on, and
probably a Saturday.
Also Alara.
Yeah, get them on. Maybe get Tyler on from You know, he narrated it.
I'm gonna whip out my Ouija board so we can talk to Ed. And
Oh, that'd be wild, you know. Never forget Ed, you know, just up and was gone one night. You know, it's like, damn. I mean, so many sightings, these triangular ships. You've got to either give it one or the other. It's either ours or theirs. You know, could it be a combination of both? Sure.
maybe we'll ask Tyler. I'm gonna reach out to Tyler and see if he'll come on too.
Yeah, he'll come on. There's a guy that was on a couple of TV shows that's seen a perfect flying triangle over a highway, over the extraterrestrial highway, Highway 375, by Area 51. Perfect flying triangle flew right over his car and then went up over the mountainsides like it was going up over into Creech Air Force Base, which would take you right into Area 51, back in 97 or 98, I think. And his story just blows me away. I'm friends with him on Facebook. I can't remember his name right now. I think it's Jason. He's got two first names as his, you know, his last name is like a first name. Shoot, I can't remember it. But anyways, yeah, man, I'd like to get him on too sometime. You can hear his story. He says it was absolutely what he saw was made by humans, because he said it had lights in it that were human lights, that were, you know, like bulb type lights, you know, under the bottom of it. He saw them. He was that close to the bottom of it. But the fact that it flew up in there blew me away, you know. But yeah, make sure you let Darcy know we did this at the end, advertise this. But yeah, we'll do an advertisement video or something for the rise of the TR3B, and then you know, put it out there that we'll be doing that video, you know, whatever day. But for me, it's going to either have to be a Saturday or a Sunday. I have no choice in the matter because of my work schedule. Unless you want to do it real late at night, but I don't recommend that. You're not going to have any people watching.
Here's an overhead image, satellite image of the actual Boeing. This is the whole factory overhead.
Oh yeah, okay.
That's the cotton. This area is just a net covering that they built to cover the whole factory.
Isn't that amazing? And under there is all kinds of hangars and stuff, right?
Yeah.
Oh yeah, you can see the shapes of the roofs and stuff. Yeah. Look at that. Just shocking what they were able to do, you know, back then.
That's pretty amazing. You can see like the outline of the building when you really look at it. Like,
yeah, I noticed that. It's just incredible, right? Just amazing.
I just imagine what they could have out in the middle of the desert, you know, to like hide stuff.
No.
You know,
imagine that. Yeah. Oh, I'm sure there's hangars out there that are massive, that are just under.
Yeah, silos and missile silos and stuff too.
Well, John Lear used to always say that he knew pilots that would fly into something that would literally unzip and open up like a V, and this landing strip would either be there for something to land vertically, or something that would fly in like an airplane, and they would unzip her and turn into a V and open up and then zip her right back up, you know. So you got to wonder if maybe it was just something like that, Jeremy, if it was just the fabric of some kind of massive tarp or whatever that would open up, and underneath there was just a landing spot, you know. That's what it sounds like to me. And he repeated this over and over again, that pilots would tell him these things are all over the place out in the desert. And it's probably true. Look at that fake tree.
I know.
You have that lady laying there to give you a perspective. It's much smaller than you think, you know. The fake rooftops of World War II. That's cool.
I know. I'm getting a whole bunch of pictures of them now.
Wow.
Oh, this one was cool. Look at all those fake trees.
Yeah, I mean, look at that. That's all covering shit up. I just imagine, look at the size of these hangars, man.
Yeah.
Couldn't imagine working on one of those lines, that had to be crazy.
That's insane. Yeah. The production lines for these
Yeah,
things?
imagine that. They ran 24/7. They recycled all the metal in the United States at one point. Couldn't buy cars, nothing. Hitler made an attempt to take over the entire world, man. There's other countries that could try that same attempt today. All it takes is one war to get that one country going, and it's scary, man, to think about where we're at right now and where China is, and what if these damn Tic Tacs are them?
Some of them might be.
Oh, I know, man. That's the first thing I thought about. Is it China? We're talking about a country that pays their people to hack into different governments. They don't care. There's no records. There's no arrests or anything like that. That's what they want. And the United States don't do that. Anyway, man, I'm glad you're doing better. I was worried about you when you did that video the other night. Remember, I told you I had a stomach ailment, and I'm sitting here laying here not feeling good, and then you come on and you're like, "Oh my God," and I heard you. I'm like, "Oh no, yes," because the title of your video, I knew right away what was wrong with you, and I'm just glad you're doing better, brother.
Yeah.
'Cause,
I'm fighting off the man-made bioweapon.
Yeah, you're in good shape physically. You don't have any fat on you like me. A little overweight. You'll gain some weight someday, but maybe you won't. Some people don't gain weight, but the only thing I got to worry about is a little bit of weight I have on me. But
you had it already too, right, Dan?
No, I thought I did. I've never had the test, but I was so sick with some type of pneumonia that
I remember that.
I moved for like 3 weeks, and I never lost my sense of your sense of taste and smell and all that. I never lost that though. But ever since then, food doesn't taste like it once did. Like food just kind of tastes generic now. It doesn't have I've complained to people and been like, wow, the quality of food's gone down. They're like, I think it's like something wrong with you. This still tastes the same. And I'm like, really? So I think that it had some kind of weird effect on me. Like I said, I had some type of pneumonia apparently for like 3 weeks, but yeah, I think I had it. It was bad. I had a lot of chest pain. This was 2 years ago, in March already. So that's how long ago that shit's been around. March 2019. So no, hell no, dude. This March coming up will be. That's 3 years ago already. How long's that flu been out, man?
Yeah, like 2 years now. It was like right in December. It was right in December.
3 years now, won't it?
It was
Coming March,
starting
right?
to come out 2 years ago.
2022, yeah, because of 2019, 2020, 2021, 2022. Yeah, it's going to be 3 years. That shit came out 3 years ago already. Wow.
Yeah, November were like some of the first really documented.
I really practice the, you can laugh at me if you want, but I really practice the social distancing. I wash my hands 20 times a day. I wear gloves as much as I can when I'm working. And luckily, where I work at, it's only me and a few other guys. We hang together and shit. We don't vary off. So if one of us would get sick, we would message the other right away and say, hey, guess what? So we try and stay ahead of the game a little bit, So, and that's the way I like it. I'm not, with 30 other people like I was before, 30, 40 people right next to me. It's only me and a couple other guys in a special area. So, yeah, it's going all right.
Well,
doing okay.
Good to hear that. I'll keep you updated on my my status with the
Yeah,
battle.
man, I'm so glad you're doing better. So glad, bro. I was really worried, man. Just really glad you're doing better, brother.
All right, well, I guess we're gonna have to call the Bureau of Land Management after New Year's and get some more information on that particular, facility.
Yeah, that one there, they might have that listed. I'll have to do some research again. They have a website that's pretty interesting. There might actually be pictures of that one. So I know I have to look it up again. I had their website and all that. I actually had talked to a guy that was on the one video, a couple of videos out. And the one that I showed him that I was looking at, he goes, absolutely, we built that one. He right away showed me their markings. But the one that I was looking at is 35 miles away from that one, maybe 40 miles to the east. So
Cool. I'm gonna go back to see if that facility that I put down there is.
Yeah,
No,
because you changed the name.
hasn't
Yeah.
appeared yet.
Yeah,
So go
somebody-
on there, guys, and confirm it, just so we can all show. Go on here on the map and try to find that.
Yeah.
Report the missing place too. Make sure you do the same thing. So that
Notice they isolated that place. They isolated it. I'm pretty sure if you can see in there, Jeremy, see the greenery right next to it. There's water in that location. See the greenery? Look at all the greenery to the left of it. There's water in that location. Okay, there's
Yeah.
water that comes down and collects. That's why they put that there. There's water collects there.
it's a water collector.
At least that's my opinion. These are the aprons that they have, the tanks and shit. You can see the 3 tanks sitting there in that one.
Yeah, you
corner.
can see like the pieces of 4x8 corrugated sheet metal that they used.
Exactly. You can see
They're
that it's all
overlapping.
divided off. You can
I
see
all
that.
the squares.
Yeah, you can. Good catch. Absolutely. That's those aprons all put together like a roof.
Yeah.
It is. It's a roof. It's a metal roof, like you said.
Ground
Miguel.
level roof. You can tell it's not raised and high up either. It's just
It's like 8 feet, maybe. Maybe 8 feet dropping down to
Good
4
luck.
2 feet. Who knows?
the real information. I think the real place is in Battelle. I think that's where they brought the metals and they analyzed all of it. So I don't know where it is now, but it's not here.
Yeah, you know enough, man. How this is all.
Yeah, you didn't just find
Look
this,
at one
dude. I mean,
place.
we've seen how they hid the Boeing facility, dude. They're not gonna
Yeah, that's amazing,
get
right?
out of here.
Wow. Just
All
to
right.
see that, man, is shocking, right? How they hid that net system. Imagine how much cloth they used. I mean,
That's what they got here, man. That's the whole. You can't even see. They hid the whole mountain.
I know it makes me wonder what is actually hidden. That's what I'm saying. If Bob Lazar really worked down there at that S-4 place, if it was really there, they would just hide it with that netting or whatever. You'd probably never know it was there. Never know.
Yeah.
There's Gabe's flight. Down there's the boost. The boost is right below there.
Yeah, he flew right over the Papoose Lake right here.
He did.
Pretty amazing.
You're right there. I think you were. Well, no. Stop there. 50. Nope. I used to have all the timestamps memorized. I don't anymore. You definitely went past it.
Yeah, this is all the pictures of it, though.
They put all the pictures together. I mean, you can zoom in big time. Remember when we zoomed in on those and you could just see everything? It's just nothing there. There it is from the backside, from the never saw it ever from the north. Here we go. Zoom right in on that little hill that Bob said was the S-4. Yep, there it is. Again, it's 1,700 feet, believe it or not, from the bottom of that hill to the very closest point of the dry lake bed, which blew me away. I couldn't believe it was that far. Distance is thrown off. But isn't that a beautiful photograph?
Yeah, it's amazing definition. So
That little hillside that leads off to the boot of Italy is where Bob claimed us the 9 hangarettes are, as Jim Goodall would say. You ought to interview Jim Goodall sometime. He's cool. He talks about Bob. He talks about Bob, and the way he talks about Bob, he knew Bob before this story, before the S-4 story and all that. And that's what really fascinated me. I wanted to hear about Bob, and he claims, Bob is very smart, and I believe that. I believe Bob is super smart. Has to be to have done what he's done, whether it's true or not true. Has to be one way or the other. Schooled the world. He's actually been there.
Intelligent.
He's a very smart guy.
Definitely.
He knows how to do things, I guess, but I think there's a big surprise coming. They're going to be doing more videos and stuff like that, I think. Lazar and them. He's not done. He's not going to let the last thing he's done to be Jeremy Corbell.
Nah, that's the water guzzlers, man.
Yeah, if there was a building, we would see the edge of the walls. That's the whole thing. You don't see any wall edges or nothing. It's just flat in the ground. Any of the other buildings out there you look at, you'll see them. You can see the walls. They don't hide anything like that.
No.
It's just flat to the ground. And that's what those guzzlers look like. I can show you a bunch of them down at the Dogbone Lake facility. They're all over the place. They're up the mountains.
All right. Well, it doesn't look like Kyle's going to show up, so maybe he'll invite me on to, when he shows me some more proof. But
I doubt it.
I haven't seen much UFO proof coming from UFO Proof.
That was just made up blatantly.
It was just
that was terrible, honestly.
Bad. Anyways, good
catch.
on
The Cousins brothers, stopped going for stuff like that. That they were doing their research first. And that'll be one that Rich Giordano will talk about, I'm sure. Old goof on. I sent him a couple of messages about it. He has his messenger turned off. I didn't mean to piss him off. The guys, I think, are wrong here, friend. Yes, they'll agree, I guarantee you. We're talking about guys that got millions of views, and now they're down to 1,000.
Right.
3,000 there. That must suck. Can't last forever. Yeah, this wildlife, these pictures are pretty interesting. Wow, that's in California. There's a big one.
This is how S-4 was built. There it goes.
how the roads are. They're very similar to what you're seeing at the 20th fake S-4. Looks like the same place. Maybe that's it right there. See it. You about done, Jeremy? I'm ready to hang up from here, bud. I got stuff to do.
Yeah, I'm tired, man. I want to go and get some. Well, not
Pretty
tired.
sure we put a lot of people to sleep. So
Yeah, I'm sorry, man. It's just I wish it was more exciting than baby sheep and baby goats.
There's just nothing going on. So
yeah, there's nothing going on, guys. It's just a bunch of rain collectors for sheep, and
all you people that support Bob Lazar know that video can't be true because Bob Lazar never said anything like what that guy said. Remember that. Not saying Bob's lying, saying that guy's video is garbage. He just made it up.
I'm saying that this is a
Brothers
picture.
are smarter
This
than
is
that. Blake and Brent, you're smarter than that. Come on, guys.
yeah. This is a picture of you if you believe that. You're a sheep.
Exactly.
You're a big horned sheep. All right.
Yep.
Thanks
Yep.
for watching, guys, and spread the
Hang
word.
around for a second, Jeremy. All right, everybody. Are we still on air?
Later, guys. No, I'm ending it now.